So it's no secret that shows as of late haven't been sticking the landing, and The Boys Season 5 has been getting a lot of flack for this. I'll go more into this with my in-depth reviews of the actual seasons, but I'll do something this show can't. Actually deliver on what I'm promising. It's kind of ironic. In the show's quest to get people hyped for the spin-offs, they did the exact fucking opposite. There were a lot of expectations for this finale, so let's just get straight into it. There's no Scorched Earth, not really. I don't need a giant 30-minute long VFX heavy action scene, but it's hilarious seeing all these supposed leaks, promising at least something more than this, like a large-scale fight with the military and a scene where he actually kills a crowd and shows to the public what kind of monster he is, since, you know, they've been teasing that since at least season fucking 2. Matter of fact, this is something that actually applies to the whole season, but my god does it feel empty. Where are the crowds, the average people? One of the best openers was season 2 episode 7, showing a Stormfront fan becoming radicalized. It was dark and thus fit the tone, did immense world building and helped flesh out the world, make it feel lived in. Here we just get a singular crowd watching and being scammed by psychics, a thing they already did in the previous episode with the whole Jesus thing, so they're just repeating it. Now it's just in the White House, which by the way is where the majority of the episode and supposed Scorched Earth, blood and bone shit happens. This just feels so cut off for a finale. I know they said it's supposed to feel smaller and intimate, and I like stuff like that, but this is a finale with these kinds of posters. This has to be false advertising, right? Anyways, that White House stuff isn't any better. We see this billionaire guy who I think is a parody of Elon Musk get quickly yeeted into space. Ironic since later Homelander takes several seconds to fly before Ryan pounds him. I gotta work on my phrasing. I will say though, there's a lot less jokes than I thought there would be, and sexual stuff. One sort of sexual thing is actually done really well, and it has to do with the Deep who, spoiler, dies. His death scene is decent, I suppose. I love how he literally rejects characterization and redemption and growing as a human being, and his death being violation through their mouth is poetic justice for what he did to Starlight the first episode. But my god, you can tell they just had to get rid of his character because they finally realized he had nothing to do. Chase Crawford is great, and I'm sure they realized he was such a vital part of this large viewership numbers, because the show racks in a crazy amount of viewers. I'm gonna get into that later. I mean, they basically admitted they write Homelander to increase the amount of memes.
You wanna fuck me like a good boy.
So they just wanted to string him along, but my god, you can feel it. They ran out of story for him like they did with Frenchie in season 4. Plus, how the hell did the other octopus know about Ambrosius? Like, I know they died, like they have a psychic connection or something like that, but I don't think he told a soul because he's a fucking coward. And why did they wait until now? This didn't happen like this season, this happened a little while ago. It's not a huge problem, more like a small one. Also, this is very clearly just to give Starlight something to do, because besides that, she doesn't do anything besides be pregnant at the very end. Like, they had this nice little ending, but that's kind of it. God, they really messed up her character and didn't know what to do. Could have been 3 or 4 seasons this whole show, honestly. I will say Allfather's death is kind of interesting. I like how quick it is, because, you know, in real life people die kind of quickly, and it kind of makes it feel more realistic, but they really didn't know what to do with him as well. Like, this entire season just dilly-dallied around, and it felt like he got lost in the shuffle. They really needed to take the pacing of an 8-episode season to end 4 other seasons more seriously. They didn't plan this super well. They just kind of were like, oh, what's a funny dick joke? What's a funny joke where we can have 2 characters sniff each other's asses, even though it's the second to last episode? Let's just waste time on that. How did they think making this an hour long would satisfy anyone? It didn't even need to be like an hour. It could have been an hour and a half, honestly, or it could have just been the same length, but the other episodes could have done a lot more heavy lifting. I honestly can't even tell who to blame, because Amazon and Sony can be really fucking stupid, and it's not just the writers. I mean, Sony made the Slender Man movie. No smart company released that movie, at least that specific version. Speaking of smart, Sage loses their intelligence because Kimiko has Soldier Boy's powers, and she just fucks off. Kinda makes me wonder why they brought him back in the first place. Oh, fuck off. Ugh. Anyways, Ryan's back after being gone for most of the damn season, and thus helps Butcher and Kimiko beat Homelander and get them all depowered when Butcher goes to kill Homelander. This is a pivotal moment that's done both pretty well and kinda badly, because on one hand, it's funny to see how useless he is without his flight or his strength. Makes sense as he didn't bother training unlike Butcher, who was already experienced in hand-to-hand combat. But on the other hand, him crying like a little bitch talking about sucking and fucking and eating Butcher's shit feels like they wanted to make this point and went too far. I get he's a literal baby without approval and power, but this flanderization and dumbing down the nuances he had feels like they were too scared to commit to humanizing him and making him an interesting character. This doesn't require much effort and skill. The dialogue isn't particularly clever, it's all surface level and feels like only somewhat of a decent bookend to this major character. All the actors give their best, and I feel bad for Anthony Starr trying to play any other role after this, but between this and his incessant obsession for milk to an overly comedic and obnoxious degree, it just feels like they saw all those crazy freak-out moments go viral on YouTube and decided, okay, people find this funny, and we also want to make him a complete loser in case the idiots in the audience couldn't figure out that he's not supposed to be likable, so let's just do all that to an insane degree. Trust your audience, man. I mean, we're not stupid. Speaking of stupid, this one decent-ish fight is the big main event. Homelander is a speech declaring himself God, a subject I'll expand upon when I make a full review, and if you like this review, maybe watch some others. I think you'll like them as they're similar in style. Yada yada, a mildly interesting fight happens where Homelander can't seem to escape, as if the budget is holding him down, which is hilarious, considering the record high viewership numbers this season pulled. Like 55 million viewers. Matter of fact, it seems every season, at least from season 2 onwards, or maybe even every season, broke every record. So it's just stupid that this is so cheap looking and whatnot. At least it has some decent choreography and feels sort of final. I hope so, because it's the final episode. And then what I mentioned earlier about Homelander's death and people leaving happens. By the way, I don't think any of the psychics even try stopping these people. Easy way to get an action scene showing the average person, and how they respond and whatnot, but whatever. More memes and more time to set up the boys Mexico and no proper budget allocation. Again, don't know who to blame, as a show like this still has thousands of people involved, and speaking of people, Stan Edgar's here for like 2 seconds, and so's Marie, I think. Legit forgot they felt so shoehorned in and didn't do shit. This is what I mean by empty. Most people don't come back for a significant role, just like Bob Singer, who's back at the end to offer Huey a job that he rejects in favor of owning an audiovisual store. This is kind of stupid. I get he's making something of himself. And the last time he worked at the Bureau of Superhuman Affairs, he worked with the soup, but no way Bob Singer's one. They would have found out, and plus his job pays way better. At least one character they kind of did right was Butcher. Despite his decision to try and release the virus basically feeling like a footnote towards the end of this episode, his fight with Huey and his death is actually quite sad. He's a person who knows he can't change. All he is a vessel of anger towards someone who's dead now, and to avenge someone who's been dead for quite a while. It's tragic but also necessary for him. He has to die because he'll just keep killing soups, no matter who they are as a person. It's not played for laughs, it's done seriously and is a seriously powerful moment. But this whole finale can't help but not feel powerful. I mean shit, after Homelander's death, there's not much of a public reaction. If you wanted to show it, maybe have people throwing out Homelander movie posters and lunchboxes, people trying to set up a funeral but a huge protest happens, and this could explain how Butcher got into Vought Tower, as the security's all busy with that. By the way, how did he even get in? I know most people haven't clocked in, he mentions that, but there should be some security, and this guy's like a threat, right? I mean, most people don't actually know all the horrible stuff Homelander did. They just saw him murder him. They saw Butcher. They saw this guy murder him on live TV. Why are they not out looking for him? I know they realize he's not a great person, but there would still be more people looking for him, right? Whatever. It just feels so disconnected. It had blatant false advertising and didn't really feel too well thought out other than how to save money, and it sucks because there's legit moments of depth and conclusion here that do work, and also some bits of action that are kind of cool, but plenty of other moments that just do not work. It's a very okay finale, or at least it would be if it didn't feel like a setup for other shows that people probably aren't going to care about. I know I keep referencing that, but the show fucked itself over setting it up. That's worse. At least I didn't pay $30 to see this in a theater a couple hours early. You know what doesn't cost $30? Watching my videos. Yeah, shit segue, but again, if you like this video, you'll like my others, covering a wide range of movies and shows and whatnot. It's confusing why you haven't done so already. Almost as confusing as the boys not acknowledging Soldier Boy not being in the final battle. They didn't know he got put back in the tube. Whatever. Shit's stupid. Shows need to learn to earn their spin-offs and prequels, not beg for viewership for them. It started out as a parody, then became what it parodied, and that's just honestly sucks. At least season 1 is great, and seasons 2, 3 are decent with some really high highs and some really low lows. Like that season 3 finale. You can't not say they didn't permanently alter the show's trajectory and goodwill. Every season poorly received by the audiences was built off of those idiotic decisions. Anyways, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video if you choose to watch it. Bye bye.